WWE 2K24 news is coming thick and fast, and today we're going to look at more insights into who is going to be in the WWE 2K24 roster. We're going to be looking at many more features that the game has to offer, and we're going to be looking at the WWE 2K24 universe mode, which I hope ends up looking something like this. Here we have the infamous storyline where Sami Zayn finally snapped and turned his back on the bloodline. It was the biggest storyline over the last few years. It really elevated Roman Reigns, the tribal chief, to becoming one of the top faces of WWE. It's totally propelled Jimmy and Jey Uso, Solo Sikoa, and Paul Heyman, who's already great. So having that storyline could be utilized by other superstars. Now let me explain that to you. I'm talking about having a curation menu, and for those of you that don't know what that means, the curation menu offers players to select a short storyline or a longer storyline, in the example of the bloodline, but the player gets to follow that, and it will determine future matchups and give players the opportunity to compete for titles and to create new rivalries. Through this menu, players will not only select the storyline, but they'll also pick the other participants. For instance, players will get to select a superstar that they want to start the rivalry against, which gives the player a lot of freedom and lets them tailor-make their experience for the WWE storyline that is unfolding in their WWE 2K24 universe. So for example, the example we just saw with Sami Zayn turning his back on the tribal chief, that could be a template, but it could actually be Ricochet, who's joined forces potentially with, I don't know, let's say the OC, but he's had enough of them and he turns his back on AJ Styles, and that is how that storyline plays out. It uses the template of the bloodline, but actually uses various different superstars in different arenas. It could all culminate at the Royal Rumble, at WrestleMania, at Survivor Series. But that is just one of the storylines that could be included. You could have, and I'm an Attitude Era fan, so you could have a Who Hit Stone Cold version, but it could be who ran over Logan Paul in the parking lot, and have, you know, a hit list of, you know, was it Drew McIntyre, Kevin Owens, or Roman Reigns, for example. The world would be your oyster, but you have these templated storylines which you can play throughout your universe mode experience. Obviously, you have the similar elements that are already in universe mode, where you have your rivalries and your rivalry actions before, during, and after the matches. Promos certainly need to come back in WWE 2K24. Promos are a great way, certainly for me as a content creator, for you to express a storyline, to express how a superstar is feeling, what their plans are, what they're up to. It is fantastic. But the curation menu, unfortunately, would fall short in terms of adding depth and variety to its options. Players would only be given a few storylines potentially throughout the universe mode, so they would need to make sure that they have enough content to fill it up with 20 to 30 storylines, so it's not so repetitive. We haven't got the same 4 or 5 storylines going round and round. It gets a bit limp, it gets a little bit lame afterwards. The storylines would lose a lot of excitement if there was only 3, 4, or 5 of them, and again, to go round and around with the same storylines would be pretty dull. Universe mode is the sandbox game that we play in WWE 2K24 because it is so customizable, because it is pretty much creating your own WWE concept with your own imagination, and it's great fun. One of the things that universe mode would also have to change, and if you've ever simmed a year in WWE 2K24, let us know down in the comment section if that is something you have done. Weird things start to happen. You start to get perhaps NXT superstars or cruiserweights just randomly popping up in title matches. I've done it before, and I've had like Akira Tozawa taking on Cody Rhodes for the WWE Championship. It's not realistic. One of the things that WWE fans love is the fact that this game is realistic, but having Akira Tozawa facing off against Cody Rhodes or Roman Reigns or John Cena for a title match isn't realistic, and it's something that we certainly need to see changed. The rivalry system, universe mode, does boast a lot of great features, including this, and creating tag teams and then breaking them up, customizing matches, and importing a created superstar into any roster onto any show is great. But the rivalry system I would say is still very underdeveloped. Yes, we have those rivalry options before, during, and after, but again, they start to become a little bit samey. So we need to have, and I know WWE 2K24 is imposing a lot more rivalry options. Promos has to be in there. In-game changes and breakouts. In the WWE, there are a ton of rivalries that get extremely heated, causing interference attacks and breakouts during entrances. These moments are truly memorable and can solidify a rivalry or even start an unlikely alliance. In WWE 2K22, many of those systems were completely broken, and that has kind of continued into 2K23 and 2K24. The rivalry system is not seamless. You know, you go into some matches and superstars are swapped out, so the rivalry is totally forgotten about. Breakouts happen during a superstar's entrance and basically it involves the wrong superstar that isn't in the rivalry, and it's just a bit bizarre. WWE 2K24 needs to eradicate any of those problems that have historically been there and really make it just work correctly, work properly. It certainly needs to happen. But what do you guys think? How do you guys utilize Universe Mode? How do you make it enjoyable? I like to start from the start of the calendar year, and my first pay-per-view is the Royal Rumble. That's how I like to do it, partly because the Royal Rumble is actually my favorite pay-per-view, but it's just the way that we like to do it. Adding to the fact that we are going to get so many superstars this year within the WWE 2K24 roster. We are going to get more legends than we have ever had before. We should get the entirety of the NXT roster as well, meaning that this game is going to implode with brand new superstars and returning superstars, i.e. in the form of legends. So when you put all that together in a sandbox mode like WWE 2K24's Universe Mode, it is going to explode with possibilities, which means that we can potentially have a Legends Royal Rumble event. We could have an NXT, you know, whoever wins that Royal Rumble gets onto Raw or SmackDown. They win a spot on the main brand, maybe even a title shot. There's going to be so much that we can do. But all of these superstars, they are going to be able to have different attires. Some maybe even assigned them via updates during the WWE 2K24 tenure, the year that it is released in, the 8 months I should say. But then potentially we're going to be able to go to the customization suite. We're going to be able to create new attires for them. And what I like to do, I like to go and download them. What's the Status is my go-to guy with all of the WWE 2K23 attires that he made, and obviously he makes a lot more and will be making a lot more moving forward. But you can have the likes of Trish Stratus in an old school attire, but also the attire that she wore when she returned to WWE last year. So it definitely is going to be great to be able to swap up your superstars attires, maybe moving from a face to a heel or a heel to a face, new in-ring gear, new get-up. You're also going to be able to create your own sign this year. So alongside creating a brand new superstar, you can complement them with their very own signs that the WWE Universe will be able to hold up. So if you made a superstar called, I don't know, Jimmy Sockton, then potentially you could have a sign that says Jimmy, sock it to him. And that's as far as my imagination is going to stretch today. Hashtag sock it to him in the comments section if you've got this far in the video. But yeah, how awesome is that going to be to have their own signs? You're obviously going to be able to create their own entrance. It really is. This game is filling up with all of the, not even the big changes, just the small little changes, which is going to be brilliant. But the rivalry mode system is okay for now, but it needs to get a lot better. Like I said about the curation mode, creating having a template for a story and being able to utilize that. Story designer would be a great option, but it isn't going to be in this year's edition of the game, which sucks. But it seems like we're going to get a whole host more cutscenes, certainly within the universe mode. So we are all very, very excited to get our hands on WWE 2K24, and you know, all of the diehard universe mode fans are looking forward to getting their hands on that and just going to town, making WWE and sculpting it into their own kind of franchise. not Mr. McMahon's franchise, because if you haven't heard, Mr. McMahon, whoa, I don't want to get this video into any trouble. So let's just say, head on to Twitter, or X that it's called now, and maybe just type in Mr. McMahon. He's in a little bit of trouble, and it may even have resulted in Brock Lesnar not being at the Royal Rumble tonight. But I'll let you guys go off and do some homework and comment down below. Maybe hashtag naughty Mr. McMahon. But yes, what do you think about the universe mode in 2K23, and how would you improve it for WWE 2K24? Let us know down in the comments section. Thanks for staying tuned to the video. Thanks for all of your support over the videos over the last few days. We've made nearly 500 new subscribers, and it's been a pleasure to bring these videos out to you. So make sure that you do subscribe. Make sure you leave a like on today's video, get your comments down below, and of course ring the notification bell so you never miss an upcoming video. The Royal Rumble is on tonight. Make sure you enjoy that, tune into it, and let's all watch somebody win that. Probably CM Punk. Hopefully it's a surprise though. Anyway, take care, peace out, bye for now.